My child, God has told me to warn you about this witch in your life, and you must listen closely because this is a matter of spiritual urgency. You may not see the full picture yet, but right now there is a woman who is physically vomiting blood because the dark energy she sent toward you has made a U-turn to devour her instead. This is not something the Lord whispered lightly. He revealed it with a divine seriousness and force that you simply cannot afford to ignore. By the time you reach the end of this message, your eyes are going to open to a shocking spiritual truth that will make every single unexplained attack you have faced suddenly make perfect sense. Think back over the last few months or even years where you have been walking through battles you could not explain. You have faced emotional storms that seemed to crash into your life out of nowhere, bringing sudden waves of sadness that hit you without any warning. There have been nights when your sleep felt completely invaded, disturbed by strange dreams you could not understand, leaving you restless and weary. You have experienced days where you felt completely drained before you even began your daily routine, facing moments where your confidence broke for no logical reason. Your peace has been shattered without cause, and your spirit has felt weakened even though nothing terrible was happening in the natural world around you. At some point during this struggle, you even started to wonder if something was wrong with you. You questioned if you were just being too sensitive, if your faith was slipping away, or if God had somehow forgotten about you. You thought you were losing your strength, but my child, hear me clearly, it was never your weakness. It was never your imagination. It was deliberate spiritual interference, and her hands were behind it all along. This woman, whose face looks ordinary to the world, but whose intentions are soaked in deep bitterness, is not just a jealous person. She is not simply someone who dislikes you, nor is she a harmless or passive observer of your life. She is a spiritual manipulator and a carrier of dark intentions who has stepped into the shadows to live in spiritual rebellion against God. That is exactly why the Lord used the specific word witch to describe her. It is not because she flies on a broom or mixes potions in a cauldron. No, she is a witch because she uses her heart, her energy, and her intentions as weapons against you. She is a witch by her mindset, a witch by her overwhelming jealousy, a witch by her hidden envy, and a witch by her deliberate spiritual interference in your life. God showed me the condition of her heart, and what I saw was a dangerous and toxic combination of jealousy, bitterness, and obsession. This specific combination is what made her spiritually destructive toward you. She has been watching you far more than you ever realized. She thought about you constantly, more than she would ever admit to anyone. In fact, she carried your name in her mouth more often than she prayed for herself. She spent her days comparing her life to yours, trying to mimic your blessings, but she failed every time. When she finally realized that she could not rise as high as you, she made a dark decision. She decided that if she couldn't rise, she would try to pull you down to her level. This is the reason you felt a strange heaviness during certain seasons of your life. This is exactly why your mind felt attacked and why your joy seemed to escape you. This is why your motivation disappeared and why your spiritual strength seemed to fluctuate wildly. This is why your emotions didn't feel like your own. It was because she was projecting spiritual weight onto your life. But hear this good news, not anymore. That same weight she tried to attach to your spirit has begun crushing her own life instead. That same heaviness is now suffocating her, and that same darkness is consuming her from the inside out. The spiritual poison she directed toward you is now devouring her. This is the reason she is vomiting blood. Her actions have turned into her own judgment. Her toxic intentions have transformed into her sickness, and her jealousy has become her ultimate downfall. My child, the Lord told me that the very energy she tried to drain from you is now draining her life away. But before I reveal what heaven is doing in your favor, You must understand that you triggered this reversal. You didn't do it by fighting her, you did it by elevating spiritually. Recently your heart changed and your gratitude increased, your worship deepened, your spirit matured and your perspective shifted, your patience grew and your forgiveness strengthened you. You started rising silently without even realizing it, aligning with God more consistently. You began letting go of people, patterns, and thoughts that weighed you down, and you started rejecting negativity. You chose peace, faith, and gratitude even when you were tired or pressured. This confused the darkness she sent. It irritated her spirit, because every time she tried to pull you down, you climbed higher. Every time she tried to send heaviness, your gratitude neutralized it. Every time she threw confusion your way, your faith dismantled it. She did not expect you to rise, she expected you to break. She expected you to remain drained, stuck, and weak. But instead you elevated, and your elevation snapped her influence over you. This is why the reversal began, and why the darkness returned to her. This is why her own negativity exploded back into her life, and why her body is reacting so violently. This is why she is vomiting blood, and why fear is gripping her heart. God has declared, "Touch not my chosen." Yet she touched you anyway, interfered anyway, and projected negativity anyway. She tried to harm what heaven protected, and that is why her downfall is so severe. My child, pay close attention to what is happening right now, because her collapse is actually the greatest signal of your breakthrough. You need to understand how the spiritual realm works. Heaven simply does not allow an enemy to fall without simultaneously raising up the chosen one. God has shown me clearly that your elevation begins the exact moment her influence ends. Your personal breakthrough starts the very second her interference dies, and your blessings begin to flow the moment her access to your life is finally closed. But my child, that is only the beginning of this revelation, and there is a deeper truth you must hear today. This is a truth about your next season, your restoration, and the massive blessings that are currently rushing toward you. God is saying that after exposure comes elevation. Your elevation is already standing at your doorstep, waiting for you to open the door. Now that you understand who she truly is and why her darkness has turned back upon her, you must hear something that the Lord revealed with a clarity that absolutely shook my spirit. You might look at this situation and think that this exposure came suddenly, unexpectedly, or out of nowhere. But heaven does not reveal things out of nowhere. Everything that happens in the supernatural realm is perfectly timed, calculated, measured, and aligned with your specific destiny. God chose this exact moment to expose her, and I tell you, the timing is divine. For a long time, God actually allowed her to reveal her true character through her own actions. He watched her speak bitterness when she should have chosen healing. He watched her project envy toward you when she could have walked in gratitude. He stood by and watched her compare her life to yours daily, instead of seeking her own unique path. He watched her observe you, imitate you, resent you, and eventually become completely obsessed with your progress. God is patient, my child, but his patience should never be mistaken for weakness. It is wisdom. Sometimes he allows darkness to reveal itself fully so that when the judgment finally comes, it is undeniable to everyone. But now, heaven has reached a critical point where God has said enough. Enough of her interference in your life, enough of her hidden attacks, and enough of her jealous intentions, enough of her bitterness, her spiritual manipulation, and her constant monitoring of your movements, enough of her draining the atmosphere around you. God exposed her right now because you have entered a season where your blessings require complete and total spiritual clarity. Her presence, her thoughts, her intentions, and her projections had become a spiritual blockage, standing like a wall between you and your divine acceleration. Think back to how you have felt lately. For months, your spirit felt off balance. For months, your journey felt slower than it should have been. For months, it felt as though something invisible was resisting your growth. You assumed it was just life being difficult, but the Lord said it was her. It was her eyes on you, her resentment toward you, and her energy directed specifically at you. Her words spoken in envy, her internal hostility, and her quiet spiritual interference were acting like heavy chains. She was anchoring heaviness onto your destiny, but I am here to tell you that the anchor has finally been shattered. The reason God chose to expose her at this specific moment is because what He is about to release in your life is so massive that it cannot be delayed another moment. The breakthrough coming your way is too big, too sacred, and too transformative for any spiritual interference to remain. Heaven is clearing your environment physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because what God is preparing for you requires full protection, full purity, and full alignment. The Lord showed me something else that is happening right now in the unseen realm. As soon as her influence was cut off, heaven immediately reopened the spiritual gates that had been held shut. The moment her access broke, angels moved swiftly to work on your behalf. Doors that were stuck fast began to shift open. Opportunities that seemed distant and unreachable began to approach your life again. Your atmosphere began to lighten, your thoughts began to clear, and your spirit began to breathe again. You may not fully feel it yet in the physical, but you will feel it dramatically and undeniably very soon. My child, listen to me. God did not reveal her condition, her collapse, her sickness, or her vomiting of blood just to frighten you. He revealed it to free you, because for too long you have blamed yourself for the heaviness you felt. You thought maybe you weren't working hard enough. You thought maybe you were spiritually weak. You thought maybe God was ignoring your prayers, or that your life was somehow cursed. You thought maybe you were losing your strength, but the Lord said clearly, my child was never the problem. The interference was real, and her interference explains everything you couldn't understand before. It explains why your peace vanished without reason, and why your joy kept collapsing. It explains why anxiety hit you suddenly, and why you felt spiritually drained for no apparent cause. It explains why relationships fell apart strangely, and why you felt watched without knowing why. It explains why your blessings pause mysteriously, why your motivation disappeared, and why your sleep became unstable. It explains why negativity seemed to surround you even when you tried your hardest to stay positive. All of these things were symptoms of spiritual interference, not spiritual weakness. But my child, the greatest truth you need to hold on to right now is this. Despite everything sent against you, your spirit resisted it all. You did not break under the pressure, you did not collapse when the weight was heavy, and you did not lose your true identity even when the fog was thick. You did not lose your purpose, and you certainly did not fall into the darkness she tried to drag you into. Instead, you did something miraculous. You rose higher and grew stronger in the face of it all. You deepened your faith when it would have been easier to give up. You elevated in gratitude when you had every reason to complain. You aligned yourself with God with a renewed focus. Understand this clearly. Your spiritual elevation is the exact reason she is breaking right now. Your strength is the very thing causing her darkness to collapse in on itself. Your growth is the reason her influence is finally shattered, because once you rose above her spiritual frequency, she simply could not reach you anymore. And now, the spiritual reversal has officially begun. God showed me something terrifying about her current condition, not to scare you, but to prove to you once and for all that heaven has not been ignoring your suffering. The exact same heaviness she tried to load onto your spirit is now crushing her own life. The same darkness she used to try and cloud your mind is now clouding her clarity, leaving her lost and confused. The same bitterness she used as a weapon to attack you is now eating her alive from the inside out. She is currently in a state of spiritual panic because she does not understand why our life is suddenly falling apart. She feels restless, scared, and her world is shaking, but God knows exactly why. Heaven knows, and now you know too. Her judgment is not random punishment, it is divine cause and effect. It is simply the return of what she created, the harvest of the bitter seed she sowed. But listen to me, child. Do not celebrate her fall. God is fighting for you not out of revenge, but for the purpose of restoration. You are stepping into a season where everything that was stolen from you, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and energetically, is being fully restored to you. Your joy is returning in massive waves, washing away the sorrow. Your confidence is rising like the morning sun. Your peace is returning to settle your heart, and your focus is sharpening. Your blessings are accelerating, your opportunities are expanding, and your strength is multiplying daily. Heaven has been waiting for this exact moment when you would be spiritually free enough to receive everything God has stored up for you. And now, that moment has arrived. God revealed the next powerful truth to me. You are entering a season of divine protection, unlike anything you have ever experienced before. I saw in the spirit a circle of fire forming around you, a barrier that no darkness can cross. I saw angels standing guard at every side of your life. I saw your name being written in a sealed heavenly book, marking you as untouchable. I saw the enemy's hands tied, unable to move against you. The spiritual gates of your destiny are glowing with light because the interference is over. The cycle is broken, the attack is finished, and the witch's influence has died. From this point forward, God says, no weapon formed against you will prosper, not in silence, not in secret, and not even in thought. Her fall is not your focus anymore, your future is. But we are not done yet, my Chi. When I prayed for you and asked the Lord to show me what has been happening in your life, He opened a very deep vision in front of me. In this vision, I saw something you never knew, something happening behind the scenes in the spirit world while you lived your normal life. All those strange feelings you had, the sudden fear, the sudden sadness, the sudden tiredness, the sudden confusion, none of it happened because you were weak. It happened because someone was trying to attack you in the spirit, and that attack was coming from the same woman who carries jealousy and bitterness in her heart. The Lord showed me that this woman watched your life far too closely. She compared everything you had with everything she didn't, and your light made her darkness feel worse. Your blessings were a constant reminder of her own failures, and instead of fixing her heart, she allowed jealousy to grow inside her like a poison. Over time, that jealousy hardened into anger, and that anger became a spiritual attack against you. She didn't fight you physically, she fought you with her thoughts, her emotions, and her negative energy. You didn't know this, but many times during the night, when you couldn't sleep properly, or when you woke up feeling tired and heavy, it was because a battle was happening around you in the spirit. But the good news is this: you were never alone. The Lord showed me angels standing all around you, guarding you, protecting you, and fighting for you. Every time a negative energy came toward you, an angel stepped in front of it and destroyed it. I saw dark shadows trying to come near you, but the angels blocked them with blinding light. This is why the attacks never reached your destiny. They only touched your emotions briefly, but they never touched your life path. The Lord also showed me that this woman tried 3 distinct kinds of spiritual interference on. First, she tried to confuse your emotions, attempting to make you doubt yourself and feel low. Second, she tried to delay your blessings, hoping things would move slowly for you and you would lose hope. Third, she tried to weaken your spiritual strength, hoping you would lose focus and fall away from your purpose. But in all three attempts, God blocked her. Your emotions recovered, your blessings were protected, and your spirit stayed strong because heaven was helping you. I saw a bright vision of God placing a circle of light around you, surrounding your spirit like a glowing shield. Angels stood in every direction, ensuring your safety. Your name was written with a new holy seal in heaven, which means your spiritual level has increased. You are no longer reachable by the kind of darkness she used. You have been elevated to a place where that woman cannot touch you anymore. Because of this, my child, you will now feel changes in your life. Doors that were stuck will start opening, and opportunities that were slow will begin moving. Your mind will feel clearer, your heart will feel lighter, and the heaviness that used to sit on your chest is going away for good. Your sleep will become peaceful once again, allowing you to rest deeply without the disturbances that used to wake you in the middle of the night. You will feel a fresh wave of motivation washing over you, replacing the stagnation that held you down for so long. Your confidence will return, not as arrogance, but as a quiet assurance that you are exactly where you are meant to be. All of these beautiful shifts are happening for one specific reason. The interference that was blocking your blessings is finally gone. The spiritual static has cleared, and the signal from heaven is now coming through pure and strong. People around you will soon start to notice that something is different about you. They won. Be able to put their finger on it, but they will see a new light in your eyes. You will start rising faster than you ever have before, moving with a speed that defies logic. Your sudden growth will surprise others, leaving them wondering how you are suddenly moving forward with such momentum after being stuck for so long. But you will know the secret truth. God simply removed what was blocking your destiny. Everything the enemy meant for harm has failed, and everything the jealous woman tried to destroy has collapsed under the weight of truth. You survived the spiritual attack, you rose above her influence, and you became stronger in the broken places. Now you are stepping into a new chapter of life, one that is filled with divine protection, absolute clarity, blessings that overtake you, and a peace that surpasses understanding. My child of God, now that the darkness has been exposed, and the woman who tried to harm your spirit has collapsed under the weight of her own actions, the Lord showed me something beautiful about your future. The attack against you is officially over, the interference is gone, and the spiritual blockage has been permanently broken. Now God is preparing to lift you into a new chapter that will completely transform your life from the inside out. When the Lord opened this final vision to me, I felt a profound peace spreading in every direction, changing the very atmosphere around me. There was no fear, no heaviness, and no darkness in this vision, only pure, blinding light. In this light, I saw your spirit standing tall, looking stronger and more resilient than ever before. You didn't look tired, confused, or drained anymore. You looked lifted, bright, and renewed, like someone who has survived a battle meant to destroy them, and walked out carrying the victory. Child of God, the Lord told me clearly, my child is free, my child is rising, and my child is protected. You are entering a season where God Himself is taking full control of the intricate details of your life. Things that once frustrated you will now start flowing like water. Things that once confused you will suddenly make perfect sense. Things that once felt blocked and immovable will now move quickly and effortlessly. Because when God removes darkness, He doesn't leave a void, He fills that space with overflowing blessings. The Lord began to show me exactly what is coming next for you, and the first thing I saw was peace returning to your life in full measure. This is the same peace that this woman tried so hard to steal from you. I saw you sleeping better at night, waking up refreshed, feeling mentally clear, and walking through your day feeling emotionally lighter. The heaviness that used to sit on your chest like a stone is leaving you for good. The strange fear that used to grip you for no reason is fading away, and your heart is finally healing. Your mind is becoming strong again, and peace is settling into your soul like a calm, steady river. Then God showed me new strength rising inside you, a strength you didn't even know you possessed. It looked like unshakable confidence, it looked like boldness, and it looked like absolute clarity. You will walk into rooms with a new kind of presence that demands respect. People will notice the change in you, they will feel the grace radiating from you, and your voice will carry a new authority. Your steps will carry purpose, and you will stop doubting yourself or questioning your worth. You will stop shrinking your identity to fit into small places because God is restoring everything the enemy tried to weaken. Then I saw divine direction entering your life with precision. For a long time you felt stuck, unsure of what to do next, and like you were walking in endless circles. But those days are over, because God is going to show you exactly what steps to take, one after another. He will guide you clearly so that you will know exactly what to do, where to go, and which decision is the right one. Confusion is breaking, and absolute clarity is here. The Lord also showed me doors opening, many doors that were locked before, doors that refused to open earlier, and doors that seemed completely impossible. Suddenly, they will begin to unlock for you, opportunities will present themselves, and people will reach out to help you. Favor will come from unexpected directions, and resources will appear at exactly the right time. Everything that was delayed is coming back to you with speed. I saw your finances shifting upward as well. It looked like God was breaking old cycles of lack and delay. You will notice improvements, you will see stability, and you will finally feel progress. The same spiritual interference that once blocked your blessings has been destroyed, and now your financial flow will be restored. Then the Lord revealed something even deeper. Your spiritual gifts are waking up. Your discernment will become sharper, your intuition will become stronger, and your inner voice will feel clearer than ever. Your connection to God will feel closer because the attacks against you did not weaken your spirit, they activated it. They made you stronger, wiser, and more alert, making you more sensitive to God's voice. What tried to break you ended up building you into a warrior. Child of God, the Lord showed me something about your destiny. I saw you stepping onto a road that was bright, pure, and protected. I heard God say, I have set my child apart. This means you are entering a season where not everyone will have access to you. God is removing people who drain you and disconnecting you from wrong connections. He is closing doors you were never meant to walk through and protecting your spirit from people who carry negative energy. You will not attract the same kind of people anymore because your spirit is rising. God will match you with those who respect your journey, who carry goodness, who support your growth, and who walk in the light. Then I saw something beautiful. The woman who tried to harm you will no longer be even a shadow in your life. She will fade out completely because she has already been defeated, her access has been cut, and her influence is gone. Her energy cannot touch you anymore because you are now in a higher spiritual place where she simply cannot follow. God told me something powerful. What was meant to break you has become the reason He will bless you. Your story is about to shift. Your environment is changing, and your path is opening wide. Your destiny is activating. And then I saw a final vision. I saw a crown of light being placed on your head, symbolizing authority, protection, identity, and elevation. And the Lord said, My child has passed the test. You went through the fire, you survived the attack, you stayed faithful, and you held on to hope. You kept believing, and now your reward is coming. Get ready, child of God, because your life is about to shift faster than you expect, and your blessings will come quicker than you imagined. Your future is brighter than you thought, and your spirit is safer than it has ever been. The darkness is gone, your enemies have fallen, your destiny is opening, and your season has finally arrived. You are protected, you are chosen, you are rising, and nothing can stop what God has already prepared for you.